Alright, guys, so I decided to have the Shaolin Monk to be my guest today in this podcast. I realized I haven't done a podcast video for a while, and what would be the best guest nowadays than the Shaolin Monk? I'm going to link his channel down below in the comment section. He has amazing MK Mobile content, so definitely if you haven't discovered him yet, rectify this mistake. And now, without any further ado, let's get to the podcast. So, I was wondering, one of my first questions actually is going to be, how did you decide to start YouTube? What was the turning point? How did you make the decision?
Okay, so it's kind of funny because I used to be like in a small community with like 10, 15 people, and we always used to pass around setups and strategies. That's what we like to do. And at some point, I ran out of presets. So I had to start recording them to save them because I wanted to try new things. And I started uploading on YouTube just to show my friends, pretty much. That's how I started. So it was not like I wanted to become a content creator or anything like that. It was only because to save the presets.
Wow, that's very interesting. And when was the point when you said, okay, that's actually I can further develop it into actually a working YouTube channel? When was that point? Do you remember it? Was there a specific video or something that happened?
Not really. I mean, I don't even look at myself as a content creator, really. I'm still looking at myself as that player that just uploads videos for fun. But I kind of got more exposure when you did a reaction video on my channel, and then Star did that as well. So during that time, I kind of start to think like, okay, so I get a bit more exposure. So maybe I start uploading maybe more different kind of content, not only strictly strategies, you know? So that's kind of the turning point, I would say.
Nice. Because for me, it was like, I started with the idea to release videos. I don't even remember when I started, probably 4 years ago. I think it was a couple of updates after 2.0 or something. Back then the game was really, really different. And the thing that actually, do you know what was the thing that made me, one of the ideas that, okay, I think that this is why I should start creating videos, and this is why I have a chance. It was the new store. It was super weird because in the previous store, even though I wouldn't say that the price of the character was reflecting how good the character was, but in the previous store you can see the amount of souls you need to pay for every character, and then bam, out of nowhere they removed it, and now every character costs the same, and a lot of people started asking which character is better and something like this. So I said to myself, right, you know what, this is a very good point. I have all characters almost maxed out, so why don't I create a YouTube channel and start talking about which character is better, or whatever, which character is more worth. So this was a turning point for me. That's an interesting story, by the way. I don't think I've ever told it before. But now as I think about it, this was the reason. This was the new store, and the fact that every character costed the same, but not every character was equally good. So it's pretty cool.
Right. Did you have like a strong account back then?
I did.
When you already had like a lot of characters maxed out, or?
Yes. I did a lot. I have more or less all gold characters maxed out. And when they turned them into diamonds, I got like 20 diamonds maxed out in one day. So it was crazy in update 2.0.
Wow. Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, I did not play back then, but I did a video about it. So yeah, a huge change.
Absolutely.
I'm guessing with the 2.0. So yeah.
So I have one more question for you. Do you play any other game or just Mortal Kombat Mobile? I'm just wondering.
I play one car game actually quite a lot, because sometimes I just need take a break from MKM, and it becomes kind of boring to just like, I mean, listen, I was going to bring that up later, but as a content creator, you kind of play the game differently from if you're only a player, at least for me. So I kind of feel like when I just want to relax, I don't really play MKM anymore. I play other game. I play the car game. So that's kind of like a change that happened when I started to do more content with the channel and everything. So I know you play a lot of other games.
Oh
I
yeah.
seen you have an totally different channel even, which
I
is pretty
have
cool.
I had two more channels. I say I had because I don't have time, to be honest. I mean, I had a channel that I started playing Diablo Immortal. At some point, it became as big or even a little bit better than the MK Mobile channel. But the thing is, I started struggling to find any good topics to make content on that. So I and that by the way, at this very point Diablo 4 came out, so I started to do a lot of content on Diablo 4. And in the actually one of my very first video on a brand new channel about Diablo 4 got like 80,000 views. It was crazy. So I said, oh my god, it's going to be good. And the first couple of videos it was awesome, and then started gradually declining until a point where I said to myself, you know what, I'm just going to. A lot of content creators dropped from Diablo 4, and Diablo 4 had one unfortunate circumstance for me, that they actually called a couple of YouTubers to play the game before the release for 2 days or something, which was crazy. Basically, you know everything about the game and you can showcase maxed out builds of characters before the other guys can even play. And they had this jumpstart, let's go it that way. So I wouldn't say that my Diablo 4 channel was very successful, but there was a point where it was actually earning me more money than MK Mobile channel. And there was a brief period of time when I was running 3 channels at the same time. And then one by one they dropped out, and then it was just MK Mobile channel. But I see for myself in the future, probably starting next year, I can just create videos on the things that I do, and I can say the things that I do, I mean, not games related, but just work related, which is quite cool, to be honest, because I don't see myself doing videos for a long time. MK Mobile related. I've been here for more than. I started in 2017, so that's crazy. That's 7 years, and next year is going to be 8 years in one game. And considering that there is almost nothing new in the game apart from new characters, and the crypt, which is still a grinding mode, which brings me to the fact: what do you think about the state of the game at the moment?
That's a difficult question. I wanted to ask you the same, but I have like two different perspectives. Like the first one is for majority of the players perspective, which it's kind of not us, right? Because we have a lot of things maxed out.
Mm-hmm.
And then also from your own perspective, like from your account's perspective. So if I would say from majority of the players perspective, I would say the game is better now than 3 years ago, than 2 years ago. But at the same time, I did not play before 2.0, so I can't really relate to that. I have no idea how to answer that question. So because you played before 2.0, you probably have a totally different perspective on that. When it comes to my own perspective, to be honest, I had more fun a year ago, I would say, 2 years ago, because we had new towers. I like gear, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have how many pieces? Is it like 10 pieces every update with the new towers? Now we have 4. And the only way to obtain those pieces is to grind the crypt 24/7, which I don't have time for. So it's kind of like, it's not really enough content for me. But I understand that for the majority of the players, it's more free-to-play friendly. And yeah, I think it's better now for them.
When you say the crypt, you don't have time. Why don't you grind it on auto? It's just like you don't have to do anything. Just
I do that. I do that, but I still don't have enough time to do it because I'm looking for random drops. I'm not really looking for, like, every time the store refresh, if I'm lucky, there's something there that I can grind for. Okay, now there's movie Sonya. I just didn't have enough time to do it. I still haven't bought her, and I probably won't because they're gonna refresh today, I think. But like, it's more about the random drops, and I don't have time to do like 2-3 runs every day. And also, to be honest, I don't have energy. I'm working at home. I could still do it, but then I have to open all the crates and caskets one by one. I would like to have like a function like open all in the end of every stage. That would totally help in my situation.
I see. Usually, if I'm to grind crypt, I just use my emulator and Even if I'm working, I'm working on my laptop and I have my PC with the emulator on, I'm just doing runs. And sometimes when I don't even have time to look at my monitor, that's fine. I can just continue. Let's say 1 hour from now, it doesn't really matter. But the thing is, crypting doesn't bother me. Even though it's boring, super boring. What actually the most boring thing in the game. But in my opinion, it's the best game mode at the moment because it is just me. I don't really want to waste 1 week of my life to get something that I don't know what I'm getting. I mean, it has its good sides because it feels like Christmas every single time when you're completing a tower. Because okay, you don't know what you're getting, it's exciting, and then bam, you're getting something that you don't want, and you are super in the bad mood after that. For the crypto, at least you know what you're working for, so that's a huge W for me. Or at least people can choose. So
I agree. I totally agree with the rewards. Yeah.
If you want to grind 1 week to do something, to get something that you don't know because you like the thrill of being unaware of what you're getting, fine. If you don't want to do that, if you want to play safe, just play crypt or something. So it's a good that people can choose now, because in the past you couldn't choose. You could just do 7 runs and get 7 sellbacks, and it felt really bad.
I totally agree with the rewards. I mean, the grinding the towers for what is it? Is it like 6 days, 6.5 days or something? If you do everything one shot and still don't get anything in the end, that's like very discouraging. You know, it's like, oh my god, now you gotta start all over from battle number 1. It's horrible. But what I think with the towers is that the battles are exciting. It's exciting to defeat difficult battles. It's exciting. It's competitive. We can compete with each other. You know, you and me, we can compete. Even we can't do that in the crypt. The crypt is like a glorified battle mode, and you have consumables. So to me, it's like the only thing you enjoy is to get the rewards, but the road there is so boring. It's crazy. Like I had many times where I just rather spend my time in Shao Kahn 87 rather than to grind for a Circle of Shadow Nightwolf. Not because I don't want Nightwolf, but because I just feel it's too boring. You know?
It is boring.
So
Yeah.
I feel that they can adjust that. They should make the battles more exciting. I think they can adjust it. I mean, they adjusted the towers many times. So if they just adjust the crypt a little bit, make it more exciting, then hey, it's a great game mode, you know?
The problem with towers, though, I want to know whether you agree with me. It is exciting, but if we look at tower gear like consumables, I mean, let's be real, with maxed out epics, I can beat any stage without any issues whatsoever. Like, I mean, any stage. I'll get a random character. Yeah, with certain characters it's going to be more difficult, but I can beat it. And if I take Diamond and give him 2 epic weapons, I'm going to wreck everything. So it's going to be still easy. Granted, not many people can have access to maxed out epics, so I understand that point. But the point, apart from the difficult part, which I agree with, is the fact that the thing I hate about the tower is that the repetitive nature. You repeat the same fight over and over again. You repeat the same boss fight. You repeat the same battle of 184, and that's after you. If you do it once for the first time and you never did it before, it's exciting. I agree. If you do it second time, it's again cool, because if you lost many times to this battle, then you have your chance for rematch. You go back there and you beat it, and now you can beat it better and you feel good about it. You do it third time, it's starting to get a little bit boring, and then every single run after that, it's super boring, at least for me. If I do a tower more than two times, it's like a punishment for me. I don't feel good about it. It is the same battles, and you have to do it over and over and over again. Sometimes it's even annoying because I want to do it on auto, but I can't, because there is certain fight where the auto mode just doesn't work because the AI is dumb. So I have to manually do it, and that pisses me off. So super annoying about that. What do you think on this point?
I mean, I agree, but I feel it's the same thing with the crypt. I feel also when I do the crypt more than 3 runs, then I can't stand the crypt for another week. Like I that's just how I feel. Like I just feel so boring, and I feel like the lack of you're talking about maxed out epics, but I mean, you can get the same effect with consumables in the crypt. So it's kind of like similar to me. And I just feel like if they give us a more difficult mode but better rewards or something, I don't know if that would help. Maybe not, but I still feel the crypt is very unbalanced. And I also feel like the crypt is super difficult when it comes to beginner players. I tried, I think it was the normal mode with my beginner account, and it was like super difficult because I did not have the correct character. My beginner account, I don't have a lot of characters. I'm missing a lot. And that was kind of difficult. So it's kind of like bad balanced, kind of similar to the towers. I still prefer the towers though. But when it comes to rewards, I agree the crypt is better. Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Yeah, sure.
If you had to choose between new towers or just keep going with the crypt, I'm guessing you would choose the crypt.
When you say keep going with the crypt, do you mean
I mean,
keep
right
grinding
now-
the same crypt, or something like some improved version of the crypt?
The same, because we don't know if they're gonna improve it or
Oh,
not.
going to take new towers. It's a new, brand new content. So when it comes to being a YouTuber, I'm going to make a new tower. But when it comes to being a player, I don't care. I don't need new gear. I mean, seriously, I have so much gear that I can do anything in that game. And there is probably one or two pieces that I really want to have maxed out and I don't. One of those is Director Chair, I don't have maxed out. The other one is a Tanuki armor. I really want to have maxed out, but I'm not paying any more money in that game. So those are the two pieces that I really regret that I don't have maxed out. Everything else that I want, I already have maxed out. And there are a few pieces that I wish I was like, yeah, that would be good if I had it maxed out, but it's not a big deal. So at this point, the thing that I miss in the game is not gear. I don't care about gear. I have all the gear in the planet. What I miss in this game is a new, exciting game mode. A new game mode that it's not about collecting stuff. A new game mode that's about, let's say, fun. A game mode that it can bring every once in a while. For instance, like, imagine a 5 versus 5. That's going to be crazy fun. A game mode that comes, let's say, once every 2 or 3 months. Once that is 5 versus 5. Or, I don't know, 4 versus 4, whatever. A game mode that is supposed to be fun. Like, I don't know whether you play Clash Royale or something, even though Clash Royale currently it's not in the best state. But Clash Royale has a lot of such game modes that are made just for fun, that come periodically once every 2 months, or let's say on some occasion there is a World Cup or something and they bring this specific game mode or whatever. This thing misses in MK Mobile. We just have 2 game modes that are not Shao Kahn Tower, I'm sorry, that are Relic Hunt, and what was the other one? Relic Hunt and Luna, and they're both about collecting stuff. Of course, you should collect some stuff somewhere, but there is nothing new when it comes to gameplay. Absolutely nothing. They're the same. You just fight people and fight the same way over and over and over again. We never got something that will break the established order, that will introduce something new, completely new in the game. And this is what I miss the most. Not the gear. I mean, I have so much gear, so even if somebody starts today, he won't actually max everything in one lifetime if he's free to play. So the gear is enough. Now they have to work on the game modes. The Crypt was a nice game mode. I really enjoyed it. The problem is it's another collector game mode, which is boring. We need a fun game mode. The towers, once again, they were fun the first time, the second time when you do them. So we need something that's fun all the time. It is just game mode created for fun, to keep players in the game, to keep players excited. We don't have that. That's the problem in my opinion.
Right. I agree. I feel like we need something that involves the community. I feel that we need to interact with. I mean, it will be more through the game and not necessarily through, like, there's Discord servers or whatever. Like something game related. Maybe a competitive mode. Maybe we can create. I know they had like. You could send friend requests before, and like I don't know how it worked. It was like a cameo thing. You could borrow someone else's fighter. I mean, not necessarily that, but like something that involves the players in the game. I would feel, because right now, like you said, it doesn't matter which game mode we're playing. It's the same thing over and over again.
Exactly.
And I think that's a problem. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And the next thing.
And another thing.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. I was about to say that the time between updates is way too long. I believe this is absolutely killing the game. I played so many mobile games. I've never seen a mobile game that has one update every 4 months. That's crazy. People are so bored. And you can tell by probably you've been in YouTube for long enough to see that after update, the views goes up for about, let's say, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, probably 2, and then it steadily go down until the next update, and then go up, because people, there's nothing new. They just, like, what would they watch? There is nothing new in the game. So that's a
I
big
agree.
issue.
I totally agree. We kind of touched on that. I had a question though. What would you change with MKM if you could? And you already mentioned you want a new game mode, but is there anything else? Because I do have a few things I would like to change, and people might think I'm asking for too much. People might think it's not necessary. I would like they change the game to Unreal 5. I want better graphics, new backgrounds. I want a fresh look, because this game looks the same. I don't know how many years. Is it 9 years now?
Absolutely.
I mean, I know they have like some
9
upgrades,
years.
upgrades. Like, for example, the car game that I play right now. I know you're probably not into cars. I'm gonna send you a video of how it looks. It's open world. It's free roam. It's online with other players. Insane graphics. You can't same thing with MK Mobile. I think they need to do something. They need like a facelift. That's my number one choice. Not new towers, not new gear, just a new fresh look. I think that would give it such a totally different feeling. That's just my opinion.
Is this car game? Is it a mobile game?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is. I'm gonna send. I will send you a video. I will send you a video after, so you can see how it looks. It's insane.
Okay.
And what I don't know if you. I have another question. As a content creator, do you feel that the game is more fun for you because you create content, or is it the opposite? And what I mean is, because you're a content creator, I know you have like 3 or 2 beginner series, right?
2.
You have to cover a lot of things multiple times. You have probably finished the game multiple times as well. So you kind of like, as a normal player, you finish the game maybe once or twice. You have done it maybe a million times. So that's my point. Like, do you feel like that makes the game more easy boring, or quicker boring for you, or the opposite? What do you think?
I think it does make boring. Yeah, absolutely. And one of the reasons for that is basically I've achieved everything in that game. Like, there is nothing to challenge. And even one of the reasons, by the way, I wanted to participate in your challenge for 185, but at the end of the day, I asked myself, why would I do that? I mean, I don't feel the internal challenge to do that. Because in the past I was like, okay, can I do that? And then I did it, and I was like, oh, cool, I did that. And then I was challenged again, can I do this? And then I did it. So having the beginner series was pretty important for me, because I managed to prove myself that I can do it either way. So I know still people will comment, you're a cheater because you have maxed out gear or whatever. And oh yeah, you can do that only because you have maxed out gear. But no, I can do that either way, and I've proven that. And of course, not going to reply to anybody, send him proof, because they're people who are going to claim whatever they want, regardless of whatever you show them. So, well, no matter what you show them or tell them, they're going to keep with their agenda. But when it comes to the game, let's go back to it. I like to be challenged, and since there is nothing in the game to challenge me, there is no new game modes. At a certain point, you get bored, right? What you can do. This is one of the things that I absolutely loved about this Baraka Lucane thing, because I was in hibernation, let's call it that way, because not only I wasn't really playing the game actively, but because I was doing repairs at home. I currently have 2 jobs. I have a dog, so let's call it that way. I'm quite busy, and comparing, adding to this fact, another fact that I'm doing repairs at home at the moment, so I'm doing everything. My girlfriend is pregnant in the 9th month already, so she cannot do much. I also have a garden to take care of, and don't have much time for MK Mobile. And having this discussion about Baraka was like, oh my god, that's so cool. Finally to have something to talk about, and I felt more excited about the game in general. It's like, okay, is he correct? Is he wrong? Let's test that. Let's test this. It wasn't about challenging. It's about testing stuff or checking whether you are right or whether you are wrong. So this was really breath of fresh air for me. And the beginner series was another way to experience the game. That's super important. And when I'm ranking any type of character, this is why I say I've seen insane stuff being done with maxed out epics. I don't know which was the tower. I believe it was Fatal Dark Queen Tower with a bronze character in one attempt. Fatal. Granted, I was taking advantage of the horse stance. That was a huge thing. I wouldn't have done it without the horse stance, but yet I did it. And it is there, YouTube. A bronze character defeating Fatal 200 with maxed out epics. So when I'm comparing characters, the fact that I had beginner series is helping me a lot because I can see really, in my opinion, the best character is not decided on a maxed out account, because on a maxed out account it doesn't matter. You can do anything with any character. What matters is which character can help you get there faster and better. This is why MK11 Scorpion is so great, in my opinion, is the best character, because on a beginner account, there is no other character, and I mean that because I've experienced it twice. There is no other character that comes even close to the things MK11 Scorpion can do thanks to his dots. There is no other character. Classic Scorpion is also incredible. For one thing, you can get him so early in the game and so easy. And this guy, from day one, he can start carrying your account. It's incredible. Also, what other cards I experienced to be super... Classic Kano. You were absolutely right about Classic Kano. I give you that 100%. I was wrong. Still, I wouldn't consider him as an S because I grant characters that I consider as a perfect characters, let's go that way. He's not perfect. Like Combat Cup Sonya also is not perfect. She's super good, and she saved my ass in my beginner account multiple times, really. I beat so many tower fights because of her. But the thing is, I wouldn't use her anywhere else. I wouldn't use her in boss fights unless they stun or something. For Johnny, I wouldn't use her a lot in Faction Wars. I wouldn't use her a lot in Crypt. There are better options for me. So she cannot be an S. He should be great everywhere. What else? Who is the other card that I recently discovered? Oh, Stun Double Johnny Cage. Stun Double Johnny Cage is so underrated. He's so great. He literally carried my first beginner account together with Aftershock Tremor. So yeah, when I was trying to rank a character, I never consider which character is better on a max out account. This doesn't matter. It's just the character who can shine early in the game, or let's say mid game, who can carry your account so that he can help you get there. He can help you to get to a place where you can beat everything. Once you can beat everything, then the game just becomes a grinding fest. Okay, so in the beginning it is so much better because you have challenge. At some point the challenge disappears, let's say with the exception of 1 or 2 fights, and everything else is just grinding fest. Which brings me to the thing that I said in the beginning. We need another game mode that is not about grinding. But anyways, I talk too much, so yeah.
No, I hear you. I knew you were gonna bring up Liu Kang versus Kano. I'm gonna make a video. No, Liu Kang versus Baraka. I'll probably make a video. I don't want to, man. Really, I don't want to. I just don't agree with like the arguments you made. But I will address it in a video. Because you actually made a video addressing my claim, so I'm gonna have to do it. But I don't really listen. Let's be fair. I think the reason we disagree on so many things in this game is because we look at the game so differently. That's the main thing. I also think that we started to play in totally different times as well. That's another thing. And you saying that the most important thing when you're ranking characters is that they need to carry your account, Yes, okay, I agree. That's super important. But at the same time, once like you usually say like, well, a character needs to be great at Fusion Zero. But what happens if the character is not Fusion Zero? It's gonna be Fusion Zero only once. Then it's gonna become Fusion 5, Fusion 6, Fusion 7. That's the main goal playing this game, to fuse up your character. If this character now is useless as Fusion X, is he still the best character? I don't agree with that. And also, when it comes to which characters can carry you, like I don't see anyone that use a Fusion Zero listen Baraka and Baraka carries him through the towers. I never seen that. Listen, when I was a beginner, I used Classic Scorpion and Elder God Kenshi and Thunder God Raiden to carry me through the first fatal ever. I did not use any other character. Yeah, I used classic Liu Kang Fusion, Fusion 2 or something like, I can't remember. But like I still have a screenshot of me beating Fatal 200 with those characters. And so it is possible even with those characters like Elder God Kenshi, you know. So it's kind of like, that brings me to another thing. You perform better, maybe, with certain characters. Maybe you playing with the emulator. I'm using the phone. Maybe I'm using a phone that have a lot of lag. So different because I know I was talking to another guy, and he had problems with Sub-Zero MK11, his minigame. You know, the two circle thing, because his phone lagged a lot. You know what I mean? Like, this also can change someone's opinion. There's so many different things why you have certain opinions on things. Another person have a different opinion. I think we just look at the game so differently, and I still think it's awesome that we can sit here and have a chat, have a conversation. That's awesome, because I feel like some viewers might take it as, oh my god, they arguing, the drama. It's not about that. It's not about that at all. Man, that's enthusiastic. I am as well. We're having a discussion. It might look wrong. We're still cool. Having this conversation, I think, is great.
But there is no drama at all. I'm just having a debate about something, which is absolutely fine. There is no need for drama.
Yeah, but some viewers said something like, I don't want to see you guys proving each other wrong and da da da. You know, I don't know if you saw that comment. And I was like, yeah, he's all right. So, but like, some people might take it as, but we're letting you know that's not what it is. But again, we look at everything differently. We prioritize different game modes. You prioritize the Crypt Survivor, right, over the towers.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
the total opposite. So obviously we're gonna have totally different views on everything, pretty much. So yeah. But we can have more discussions about that another time. You know what I would like to do? Really, I don't know if you're up for it. MK11 Scorpion Classic Liu Kang. I think that's super interesting, because that discussion has been in the game even since when I was first starting to play the game.
Okay.
We don't have to do it now, but we don't have to do it right now, but like, compare certain different characters from your perspective, from my perspective. I think that will be interesting, and I think most people will relate to it, because that's like two fan favorites.
Do you know actually that I was a huge classic Liu Kang guy in the beginning? Until they nerfed his special 2. They butchered his special 2, and they butchered the character completely for me. And from this point on, I stopped using him, because he was still great, but he wasn't the same character. I don't have no idea why they did that. I don't know whether it was intentional. I think I asked, but they didn't reply or something. But even today, I'm currently on my PC. If I sort my diamonds by most used, I believe classic Liu Kang, considering the fact that he's my most used diamond. Imagine how much I played with classic Liu Kang back in the days until they nerfed him. He is literally my most used diamond. MK11 Scorpion is 4th. But after they butchered his special 2. And by the way, the biggest turning point for me, I was always a classic Liu Kang guy, but the biggest turning point for me was my first beginner account. Classic Liu Kang cannot do jack shit at Fusion 0. MK11 Scorpion can carry your account. So, just to say this about the character who gain fusions, that's correct, but imagine this: you buy a new car and they say, you know what, this car is great, but you can drive it only 5 years from now. How are you going to feel? I mean, you should wait 5 years to drive a car? No, I want to drive the car immediately. I want to get a character, I want to plug him in the fight, and I want to start benefiting. If I get Ronin Takeda, what can I do with him at Fusion 0? He's worthless. I don't care whether he's going to be good in 5 years, I want to use him now, otherwise it's super underwhelming. You get a new character that you cannot use. I feel super bad about it. And that's why I put super high priority on characters that can be useful immediately after unlocking. I believe that's a huge benefit. And now, granted, Classic Liu Kang is amazing at Fusion 0. He'll help a lot of characters. I mean a lot of players. He's going to help a lot of players, but he cannot do the things that MK11 Scorpion can do. And that's the main reason why I don't consider him better. But anyways, if you want, we can leave that for the next discussion. I'm just telling you that I was a classic Liu Kang guy. I absolutely love this character. I was playing him all the time, in every team, everywhere, because he was amazing. He still is. But then I decided to do the beginner series video. It was a series. It wasn't just one video. And then I discovered, okay, I have to admit I was wrong. MK11 Scorpion is superior. He's just incredible. And that's it, basically, when it comes to the MK11 Scorpion and classical Kane debate.
No, I hear you, but at the same time, I just have to say this. That's the same issue with Lisa Baraka. You're not going to use Infusion 0. I didn't even use Infusion 9 because I didn't think he performed good enough compared with my maxed out gold cards. I started to use Baraka at Fusion X.
I agree.
And that's the truth. So that's like different narratives, man. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that you love Baraka a lot, and I see why, the power and all that stuff. I just look at it from a totally different perspective, you know, and that's why we will never agree on that, never. But I'm happy that I can inspire you. I mean, we can do. You can look through because I know that you made a lot of tier lists and stuff. I don't agree with them also, and you don't agree with my tier list.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, sure.
That's totally fine. I haven't made a video trying to, but we can like have these lighthearted discussions if you want, because also same as you, even though I haven't done this for a long time, I run out of content. I don't know what to do anymore as well, you know. So these kind of things, hey, why not? Like, let's see where it goes.
Are we going to agree that there are 3 pieces in the game that actually broke the game and make it non-competitive once you have those pieces? It's literally...
You mean gear?
Yeah, there are 3 pieces of gear that are insane. And one of those, I saw it first from the Cheat Slayer, then you told me that you did it first. That's insanely great. That was the Spectral Burning Vengeance. This piece is absolutely, it is unfair. It is crazy. It is great everywhere. Once, it doesn't even have to be maxed out. You can have it Fusion 5 and be wrecking bosses. You can have it Fusion 5 and wrecking every single fight as long as they don't benefit from the dots. This is an insane piece. I don't even know why it exists. It makes boss fights like it's not even fun. I mean, it's not even fun with this piece. You can just have like X-rays all the freaking time. And the other piece is Jason weapon. It is crazy. Jason weapon is so unfair. It's like, as long as you have a lot of mini hits, you just win. So that's insane. And the third piece, actually the third piece is not that broken, but it's still insane. It is Kitana's friendship armor. The dynasty, I don't know, I forgot its name. Just to finish the point, on Baraka, you're right, it's a little bit double standard, but for Baraka, I said it multiple times, that in my opinion, Baraka is one of the exceptions where you have a character that's kind of decent at Fusion 0, because I use a lot of Rain, and for me he is decent because Baraka gives him critical hit chance. I also use Edenian Blood Kitana, and he's a decent support for those, even if you don't use him maxed out. But once max, he becomes a monster, and that's my opinion. For instance, Ronin Takeda doesn't become a monster at Fusion 10. Circle of Shadow Jax doesn't become a monster at Fusion 10, so I make a kind of an exception. It might be a little bit hypocritical, but it's still, let's say, one of the exceptions. I understand that this guy is difficult to max. I still think that he has small value at Fusion 0. He gives critical hit chance, but at Fusion 10 he becomes unreal. Anyways, do you agree with the 3 things, with the 3 gears that I mentioned? Are they like too OP, especially the first 2?
I don't know if the Burning Vengeance is intended or not, because it was like that when they during the Shirai Ryu. They changed the gear and it become like that. It works in boss fights. In the next update, they nerfed it. It did not work in the boss fights anymore. And now it works in the boss fights. So I don't know. They keep changing back and forth. So I'm not really sure where it's going to end up. But yeah, I think it's super broken gear. When it comes to Jason's, I agree. I have a question about that because I tested that gear too. So every single mini hit in a special is considered, I mean, they give you 0.1 bar of power, right? Someone told me, well, if you use it on Goro, which I tried, they're going to give you a hit because it's a grapple, it's unblockable. But then I use it on Injustice 2 Raiden, and it does not work at all.
Well,
so how does that?
It is the whole thing, the whole system with the unblockable chance is broken. I don't even think that they have, even if I ask them, I'm not quite sure whether I'm going to get a clear explanation. Unblockable hit is used to be considered something that physically breaks your block, which was super ridiculous. For instance, there is a talent that increases the damage from blockable hits. So imagine that there's 2 hits of the special type. The first hit actually breaks the block, and then the second hit, let's say it's a punch or something, after the block is broken. So this damage, the increased damage, is going to be applied only on the hit that physically breaks the block. So it makes zero sense for this piece to exist if it's going to give you 0.1 bar of power only when you physically break the block. For instance, a classic smoke passive doesn't work on any other thing but this piece. If you apply special 1 classic smoke, sorry, not classic smoke, classic noob, you're going to see that. And if you have Jason piece, you're going to see that classic noob can do special 1 loop forever. It's going to be insane. You're just getting free power, because once you do special 1, every single hit considers a block. When every single hit gives you 1.1 bar of power. So you're getting insane amount of power with classic noob. However, if I do special 1 with classic noob, and then I bring in, for instance, classic Raiden, or whoever, it doesn't matter, and then I do special 2, or whatever I do, none of those is going to be considered unblockable, despite the fact that the special 1 of classic noob is still active. None of those hits is going to be considered unblockable, only the hit that physically breaks your block. It is super dumb. I have no idea why this is the case. But I tested it multiple times. Classic noob doesn't. I mean, he's supposed to increase the damage by 50%, but he doesn't do that, because you're not physically breaking the block. So if the enemy has this classic noob thing after special 1, he's blocking, and then you do something and break the block, only the midi hit that breaks the block is going to get a damage increase. And that's super underwhelming.
Yeah, I still don't even understand how that piece works. I don't know if it's intended. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Really, it's like, I agree, it's super broken. And the last piece, what was it? Kitana's rare. I agree. That is, in my opinion, the best rare piece in the game.
It's super
the
cool.
Graceful thread.
It's very good.
But what about Weather Warfare?
Weather Warfare is great, but the problem with Weather Warfare is that it is only great maximum fusion. So even if it is so broken, they shouldn't worry about it, because, okay, let's create a piece that is super broken, but only, let's say, if you spend money, you can have it maxed out and enjoy it. Okay, that's fine. Alright, people want to spend money to have the most broken piece in the game, allegedly. Cool. They shouldn't be worried about that, because not a lot of people are going to use it. People that are willing to spend that much money anyways, they won't have any issues in towers, so that's fine. However, 2 of those pieces actually can be getting from the crypt, and one of those pieces is super powerful without even being maxed out. And the third piece, it doesn't have to be maxed out at all. You can have it fusion 3, is going to be super powerful. So I was really surprised to see those 3 pieces, because it literally made the game boring for me. Like, I created 3 setups that only had to rely on Burning Vengeance against bosses, and I'm just wrecking everything, free power everywhere, so why should I bother? So, it's crazy. The Weather Warfare is good. I like it as well. I run it quite often. But, again, we're talking about maxed out piece. Which, by the way, works only mainly with Sub-Zeros. So, it's kind of limited.
It's kind of good. It's kind of good though with the I don't know exactly how it scales, like Fusion 5. Mine is only Fusion 3, I think. But once it becomes like you can do like 3 basic hits or something.
Yes.
Then even if it's not maxed out, I think it's like 4 or 5 when it's maxed out. But once it becomes like 3, you can do some really crazy stuff. Like, let's say I'm gonna give you something here. Maybe you can try it out. If you use the Weather Warfare on a character that tags in, and then you have like the fireball, or like the what's it called, the meat cleaver or sight bomb, he's still going to be frozen after. At least for the sight bomb. I haven't tried it with the fireball, but with the sight bomb, let's say you have 2 Sub-Zeros, right? 1 gold, 1 diamond, to make it easy. The diamond Sub-Zero have the Weather Warfare. You tag him in with the Weather Warfare and the sight bomb. After the sight bomb hits, he's still going to be frozen. And then you can just keep tagging in and out. They're going to be frozen all the time. Maybe something you can try out. There's a lot of things with that piece that I can't wait to get it like Fusion 5. I'm going to test it. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, and it is a cool piece. I never thought of using it that actively in towers, to be honest with you. I mainly use it in the faction wars and in the crypt. and I mainly use it on the AI. You know what I discovered about the AI is that it's so stupid that the best way to use. I mean, there are pieces in the game that I understand that they are powerful if you want to play that way. For instance, unblockable chance reduction, but I don't play that way. I don't block. I want to be on the offensive every single time. I don't want to block and stuff, even though sometimes you must block. But those pieces are exceptionally good on the AI. They're just perfect. And currently I build a team in the crypt that is probably 5,000 and all. They never lost. Actually, in those 5,000 fights, they just lost one character once against an enrage modifier. And on all these guys, I use unblockable attack reduction. So they're blocking all the time, and they're fine with that because nobody can break their block. It's pretty cool. If I have to use those pieces actively, I won't be blocking at all. So those pieces are going to be worthless. But still, it's like a goat, but only in specific niche situations for me, and I'm pretty happy about that. Discovering that finally I can use those pieces, and they can be quite useful.
Right. I have another question for you. Consider that you spend money on the game, the same as me. I don't know how. I'm not asking how much you spent, but was it worth it, in your opinion?
No.
Why did you do? And why did you do it? In the beginning, like why did you start to spend?
I don't even remember why I started to spend. I wanted to have first time I spent in MK Mobile was back in 2017, 2018. I just wanted to have a maxed out diamond team. This was the first thing. I wanted to have a maxed out diamond team. This was my first, let's call it that way, motivation. After that,
you mean you bought diamond character or
no?
Oh, okay.
I bought souls back then. You can just buy souls. So I bought souls.
Oh, okay.
And after I bought souls, then I don't even remember what was the second thing that I bought. But I think that I started spending more. About the time when they announced towers and everything. This is the time when I started spending more on the game. Before that,
what made? Oh, sorry. What made you think like, okay, let me just max out? Or was it like one specific piece that made you like, I want this maxed out? Or was it like, I want to max it out to create content? Or what was the reason you started to max out gear? Because that's...
Yeah, at some point I did max pieces to create content, but I realized it's not worth because the videos were getting like 3,000 or 4,000 views. So that was, let's say, $6 per view, something per video, and it's just like nothing compared to the price that you spend, to max out those pieces. You know that for a fact. So I just stopped doing it and there are certain pieces that I wanted to have maxed out, like the rocking bowling stones. For this one, I don't really regret it that much because more or less I'm using it in almost every setup. Varmint's Lucky Hat, another piece that I really love using, but in the general case, I would say it's not really that worth. Again, the Weather Warfare is another piece that I really don't regret that much, maxing out for money. The general cases, though, like, I think that the excitement of getting and trying to max them free to play, or even, let's say, low spender, is going to be better, because this is something that really separates you and me in a weird way for me, because if I max out a lot of epic pieces, I start losing interest. I was like, I have all these pieces maxed out. I'm doing a fight. Okay, let's give this guy this random piece and just dominate. I don't care. But you actually try to find a lot of good strategies with max pieces, which I don't do. I kind of lose interest once I have very strong equipment. This is the same. Well, this is the reason why I told you now that those 3 pieces almost killed the game for me. Like, they're so broken. Sometimes I just don't want to use them, force myself not to use them because they're super broken. It's just nothing. First time is fun, the second time is fun, the third time is getting like, alright, I'm going to kill those bosses using the Spectral Burning Vengeance and just getting free power and stuff. So yeah, I really like the fact that you enjoy using those epic pieces and you actually create strategies with them. I don't really do that. I was like, okay, I have this powerful gear, whatever, let's resurrect them. And that's it.
Right. Another question. I want to get your take on the pack limits and why do you think they introduced the pack limits? Do you think there's a specific reason? Do you think they're going to remove it? And same thing with the Dragon Crystals, like the daily cap. We have 30 crystal cap right now, which is kind of low, especially if you consider opening up packs. Now you have to really think about let's say there was what was it, the Ronin pack recently, and I want to max those characters out, and I have to like plan like, oh, I have to do the towers 180 at this time, and then I have to open 3 packs today, and then I have to wait tomorrow. Do you think that's gonna change? And what do you think is the reason behind all these limits?
Ultimately, the reason behind is that they don't want us to max out characters super fast. They want us to play the game more. So imagine that we get a new character and then somebody has saved souls, and then 2 weeks from the release of the character they release a pack, and then the guys with the saved souls open the pack until they max the character. They want this guy to be invested in the game for longer, so he can be around for longer and then buy things. Actually, what I'm trying to say. Want to buy things over and over and over again and
But
be in the
there's no
game.
packs though. There's no packs for new characters anyway.
That's true, but I think exactly, there is no packs, but still the same logic. They don't want us to start maxing out diamonds super fast. They want us to gradually improve our account so we can constantly have, okay, I want to have this team maxed out so much, and this is the reason for me. Like the same reason why they give us a super bad offer for money, and then next to it there is a better offer for money. You say, okay, this offer is trash, but the one next to it though is super cool. In reality, they're both bad because they're just pixel offers. But because you see the horrible offer to the right, you actually start seeing value in the offer to the left. So yeah, there's some kind of tricks that they are doing. I'm just assuming that they do, so I cannot prove it or anything. It's just my opinion. But when it comes to the pack limits, this is the reason, in my opinion. They want to remove the part where players are maxing out diamonds immediately. They want to make sure that everyone is on the slower route to the top.
Yeah, I guess. But the crystals, I think that if you buy the money packs, maybe they should limit or something, because I think like that's kind of crazy to have like a 30 limit. I mean, not that I'm planning to buy any money packs, but even soul packs.
Well,
I don't
30,
know. It's a hassle.
30 is a little
It's
bit
a hassle.
not really great. I would limit it, let's say, at 50 or something, or 60. 30, not really great. Now, granted, I made a calculation. If you play the game really hard, and I mean really hard, you can do on average probably 60 per day, and that includes you grinding the crypt like crazy. You can do 60 or even 70 per day if you play the game a lot. But I agree with you, the 30 feels underwhelming. They should improve it a little bit. Let's say 50. At the same time, it doesn't have to become 100 or 200, because again, people with a lot of souls will benefit crazy from that, and they're going to max out everything super fast. So probably 50 is going to be fair.
Yeah. They have some adjustments to do, I think, when it comes to crystals. But still, great feature. I love it. I mean, hey,
Awesome
a few months
feature.
ago, it was just a sellback. Yeah, it was just a sellback. So, yeah.
Awesome feature. If only they just did give us some kind of a warning on the collector's gold casket before you open. That's going to be great. I lost 300.
Oh yeah. I saw that. I saw that video. You was waiting for that warning, and they just gave you the.
Absolutely. It gave me some Sub-Zero or something like crazy. That was insane. Well, do you have anything else to ask? Because I believe we're approaching, and I have to go and walk the dog and stuff like this, starting the morning routine. It's 7:56 at my place. It's very early in the morning.
That's very early. Thank you for taking the time. I don't have anything. No, I don't have anything else for now.
Okay, so it was a really, really pleasure having you on the channel.